When it comes to food, I think food is medicine, but I also think food brings people together. Sharing a meal with someone, we can learn so much about that person. And I think specifically now with what is happening in the world, I think we need to just take a minute, take a deep breath, and just try to get to know each other. And I think food is the perfect connector for that. My name is J Chong, and my home is Asheville, North Carolina. I am a private chef here in Asheville, North Carolina. I am a vendor at farmers markets, so I sell my frozen dumplings and sauces at the farmers markets. And I also hold private dinners, cooking classes, and a couple pop-ups around town as well. Most of my recipes came from watching my grandparents cook it. It was just basically sitting in the kitchen with my grandmother, just watching her choose certain ingredients, and it could have been because that was in the refrigerator, that was at the market, or that's what her grandmother always used, right? So I think it's just fascinating learning about people's culture through food. I was born and raised in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. First generation Cantonese, grew up in a very traditional Cantonese household, Chinese household. So in Toronto, there's a lot of different diversity. I think a lot of different people, emigrate to Toronto because it was so easy for us to do that. So it was a kind of like a melting pot for different people, and my family chose Toronto as a landing spot. And then I played soccer from the age of 6, so that I go to soccer because I think soccer was the pivotal point in my life that brought me to the United States. Played soccer my whole life and landed a soccer scholarship to Mississippi. I think it was a great learning experience for me, just learning about myself, about humanity. I knew that I was gay before I went to college. There was something in me that I just knew. And I think for me, growing up in a very strict, Cantonese household, it was important for me to go to college to play soccer first and foremost. I just wanted to play at that level. But I also chose to go so far away from Toronto so I can come out. I think a lot of queer people can relate to that, and kind of resonates that, there's people that grew up in households that were very welcoming and opening but then there's situations like me where it wasn't like that, so I knew that I had to go a little further, maybe a different country to come out. I graduated with an education degree, decided at 25 years old it wasn't old enough or mature enough to teach. So I just had random jobs, and then at age 35, I decided to go to culinary school because I love cooking. And that's when I met my wife, so I would cook for her, and I just felt like it in my element. I would dance in the kitchen, play Beyonce or whatever, and I was like, well, maybe I should try to get paid to do this. Food is love. Think about your earliest memories surrounding food, let's just say. It was probably during a very memorable time or a gathering with someone you loved or someone that kind of took care of you maybe, because food is nourishing. There's a level of passion and love that goes into whatever you're making. It's just human nature, right? Because that's when it comes to food. We're presenting it for someone to appreciate and to enjoy. So that's where the love part comes in, just naturally. So I've always made dumplings, right? Growing up, it's like one of those things you can't just make 10, you have to make 500 because you make a batch, you just sit there all day and you just, wrap dumplings all day. And I've always joked that I was gonna, start my dumpling business. So worked for Katie Button for about 5 years, and then it was February of 2020, I gave my notice because there was something within me that just had a desire to cook. I felt like it was something that I needed to do to reintroduce what Chinese food is to society and just kind of allow people to understand that it's not saturated corn syrup, it's not cheap, it's not fast and greasy. So I put in my notice, and then a month later, the restaurant shut down here in Asheville. So I was out of a job, and I was like, well, I was already planning on opening up my business, and the plan was to sell frozen dumplings. We were 3 or 4 weeks into the pandemic. My wife and I were I was driving her crazy. We're chilling with the dogs outside, and I was like, you know what, let's just start this now. So I started my Instagram page, and I just put a post up saying, hey, I'm selling frozen dumplings, about a dozen. Sent it, went to bed, woke up in the morning, and we had 100 orders. People were just, yeah, I'll take a dozen, yeah, I'll take 4 dozen, whatever. And I just started making dumplings. And one of the deliveries I made happened to be a market manager. And they hit me up, they're like, hey, do you want to vend at a market? I'm like, absolutely. So here we are now, 3 years later. The Big French experience as a whole was great. I think the environment and what Dan Levy built was something I don't think any of us knew what was going to happen. The purpose was to bring chefs that were doing good things in their communities and have them come and share their stories on TV and let food be the connector. He gave us all permission to just be us. You know, I think that just gave me permission to just be me in that setting. I really appreciated the response people had to my people's food. And I mean that in a sense because I'm able to come into your home, prepare a meal for you, perhaps celebrating a special occasion, and it's intimate, right? Because I'm in your home, you're inviting me into your house. I'm sharing my grandmother's recipes with you, telling about the stories. So I think that part, just being able to be that intimate with people that are able to enjoy my food. Day in the life of a market is great. It's a hustle, but I like it. I feel like it keeps me young. I'll roll up with my truck with all of my products set up. You get there, you see all your market homies. You're like, hey, what's up? How's your week? Hey. It's pretty beautiful. A bunch of 10 by 10 tents. People just selling their passions. You know, it keeps Asheville vibrant. I love being self-employed. I just find the freedom of being self-employed allows me to go into different avenues. And growing up in a metropolitan city in Toronto, like growing up in an immigrant family, like you're coming to a new country, you gotta figure it out. You have to learn a new language. You have to figure out what you're gonna do with your family to be able to provide. There's no textbook teaching us how to do that. I was born into a hustle mentality. It's easy for me to rely on myself to get things done. We'd like to hopefully encourage people to continue being themselves, right? In whatever it is, or get to a point where you figure out what your purpose is and like go for it. Because we really only live once and we only have one chance in this life, so why not just try to do what we think we want to do? And if you're good at it, just keep doing it. I hope people just feel more comfortable in their own skin and to just do you. Just not what people want us to be, but go out there and do you, because we all just need it.